Have you ever met someone who pretended to be your friend to get something from you? Well, today's Reddit story comes from the subreddit True Off My Chest, and that's exactly what happened to the OP. Let's find out more. It's titled, "No, Cora, you could not have had my condo." 3 weeks after I broke up with my long-term boyfriend for cheating on me, his brother's girlfriend, Cora, messaged me. She said she wanted to check on me. I thought that she was being kind. She brought her baby over and everything, sat on my couch, told me that she was here for me and that she was sorry about what happened. I really believed it. Then she told me this weird story about how she cheated on her ex before she got pregnant by her current boyfriend. Just casually threw it out there. Like that was going to comfort me somehow? I don't know why she thought it was the time to say, well, I once got pregnant while I was in another relationship too. I was still crying over being cheated on. Why would I want to hear about your cheating story? Then she asked me if I thought my uncles would rent my condo to her and her boyfriend for $900. No, Cora, you could not have had my condo. My uncles were renting it to me for $900 because I'm their niece. That price wasn't on Zillow. It wasn't a public offer, it was family. Even if they did rent it to someone else, it would have been $1,300 or $1,400. That's what it was worth. You weren't asking for a place to live. You were asking for my life after it had fallen apart in front of me. I had barely even finished moving out. I was still grieving, still processing everything, and you waited just long enough to make sure I wasn't staying before asking if you can slip into my spot like nothing happened. You were never my friend. You pretended to care, but you were just waiting for the dust to settle so you could sweep in and try to collect. And the kicker? You and your boyfriend had the money for a house the whole time. You didn't want to spend it. You were living in a place with mold that was making your baby sick, not because you had to, but because you didn't want a mortgage yet. You had a $10,000 sign-on bonus as a nurse. Your boyfriend made $80,000. You had the down payment. You had the options. You just didn't want to use them. So no, Cora, you don't get to play the struggling mama card when you are just sitting on a fat stack of cash and just didn't want to spend it. You don't get to swoop into my grief pretending to be supportive just to try and take something from me. And you don't get to act surprised that I said no. You saw me hurting and thought, what can I take? I said no, and I'm never going to stop being proud of that. You're a terrible person, and I will never ever forgive you for it. OP, good for standing up and telling Cora, no, get out. I cannot believe Cora had the nerves to ask you for your condo. Seriously, you're grieving. She was just pretending to care for you. But what she was really after is just after your condo. It's unbelievable that she even had the nerves to be asking that, pretending to be your friend and seeing how you are. And you're right, the timing is very suspicious and you just had to wait until then, huh? Very, very suspicious. Anyways, I'm glad that you stood up to Cora because she sounds like a terrible person and a very cheap person too. She's a nurse. She's staying in a place that has mold that's making her baby sick. And she's a nurse who should know that health is very important. She's not putting her child's best interests at heart right now. All she cares about is finding a great place for a cheap price. No, she's doing it for selfish reason. That's so not cool. And like you had mentioned, she's not struggling and she's not asking for your condo because she's struggling financially. It's because she wants your apartment. Plain and simple. That's just ridiculous. And I believe like her demands, well, I wouldn't say her demand, her request is just, it's so like, I can't even believe she had the nerve to ask that. Like, does she not feel guilty for that? I guess not, right? Anyways, let's see what some of the commenters have to say about this. First commenter says, Dang, I'm sorry for what you're going through. Most people are kind and try to be empathetic. You have just had a run of bad ones, but I think there will be good ones in your future. Hang in there. OP responds by saying, thanks. I'm finally out of that bubble of people, and I think I'm seeing things better. She's my ex-brother's baby mama. Oh, yeah. Another person says, a vulture in human clothing. Sorry she tried to take advantage of you like that, and good for you for shutting it down. Yes, we are all very proud of you for that. Another commenter asks, did she say anything to being denied? OP responded by saying, she ghosted me. Yep, that just proved she truly is not a good friend or a real friend. She only wanted what you had. Anyways, I would love to know what you guys think of this whole situation. What are your thoughts in this? Leave it in the comment section. And remember, if you like these types of stories, to continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.